Welcome to the Wisdom Tribe. If you are listening to this right now, it is not by coincidence. It is by divine appointment. You have been drawn here by the Spirit of God Himself, because this message carries something that belongs to you. You are not here by accident. You are here because heaven has already stamped you as chosen, set apart, and destined for greatness. You've been walking with a crown on your head, though many could not see it. You've carried it in silence, through seasons of rejection, misunderstanding, and battles you never spoke about. But now, the time has come. The crown that was hidden is about to be revealed, and those who once overlooked you will finally recognize the weight of glory you carry. Before we go any further, if your spirit is connecting with this message, type 7 in the comments right now. That number is not random. It represents divine completion, the sign that the season of hiding is ending and your crown is about to be revealed for all to see. When you type it, you are declaring in faith, I am chosen, I am crowned, and I am ready for the unveiling of what God placed on me long ago. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Wisdom Tribe, and most importantly, re-watch this video multiple times. Each time you do, new layers of understanding will open in your spirit, and clarity about your journey will become stronger. Watch this to the very end and then watch it again, because the revelation of your unseen crown is too deep to grasp in one sitting. Heaven wants this truth to fully sink into your soul. Let's begin. Chapter 1. The crown was always there. Chosen one, you must understand this truth. You were never ordinary. From the moment heaven released you into this world, there was already a seal on your life, a divine signature written into your very being. Before you ever spoke a word, before you ever accomplished anything, the Most High placed a crown upon you. This crown was not crafted by human hands. It wasn't designed in palaces of men or fashioned by the systems of this world. It was spoken into existence by God Himself. A crown of calling, a crown of divine favor, a crown that signified that you were born to walk differently, to carry weight, to hold authority in realms that most people cannot even perceive. And the irony of it all, the crown was always there, yet invisible to the natural eye. You carried it into classrooms where teachers overlooked you. You carried it into friendships where people betrayed you. You carried it into families where you felt misunderstood. You carried it into workplaces where you were underestimated. But no matter how blind others were to your light, the crown never left. That's why you always felt different. That's why blending in never worked for you, no matter how hard you tried. While others were satisfied with fitting into the mold, something in your spirit rejected conformity. You could laugh with the crowd, but deep down you never truly belonged to it. You could wear the mask of normalcy, but the crown on your head kept reminding you that you were set apart. And here's the mystery. The people around you may not have seen your crown, but the spirit realm did. Heaven recognized it. Hell recognized it. And that's why the attacks in your life were not normal. That's why you experienced resistance others didn't. That's why doors that swung open easily for others seemed harder for you. Because the enemy knew who you were before you even fully knew yourself. He saw the crown, and he tried everything in his power to make you doubt it, forget it, or forfeit it. But let me tell you something, he failed. Because even when you stumbled, the crown remained. Even when you felt unworthy, the crown remained. Even when you lost relationships, jobs, opportunities, or confidence, the crown remained. Why? Because it was never placed on your head by man. It was placed by the Most High. And what God crowns, no one can cancel. Chosen one, think about it. Have you ever wondered why people sometimes treated you with unnecessary envy or hostility, even when you did nothing wrong? Why certain individuals disliked you without reason? It's because their spirit recognized what their eyes could not, the crown you carried. Your very presence revealed their insecurity because your crown reminded them of a glory they did not carry. This crown is not just about honor, it's about assignment. It carries the weight of responsibility. It represents authority to break cycles, wisdom to guide others, strength to endure storms, and vision to build what others cannot see. It is proof that you were born for something bigger than yourself. And though you carried it in silence, though you endured seasons where no one acknowledged it, the time is coming. Yes, the time is already here, when heaven will cause people to finally see the crown you've been carrying all along. You will no longer walk hidden. You will no longer move unseen. The crown that was invisible to many will soon be undeniable to all. Never forget this. You were crowned before the world could validate you. That crown is why you survived what should have destroyed you. That crown is why you've been elevated after every fall. Chapter 2. Carrying it in silence. Chosen one of the heaviest burdens in life is not carrying pain, but carrying some purpose in silence. For years, you've walked with this invisible crown upon your head, and yet those around you treated you like you had nothing special at all. Imagine the paradox. Heaven marked you, but earth ignored you. Spirit recognized you, but people overlooked you. You carried this crown into places where you didn't belong, into circles too small for your destiny, into conversations that could not contain your depth. You saw visions no one around you could see. You felt battles no one else could sense. You lived with a weight no one else could explain. And because they couldn't see the crown, they dismissed you as if you were just ordinary. You endured mockery. You endured whispers behind your back. You endured rejection from people who should have supported you. And yet, in the middle of all this, you chose silence. But hear me, your silence was not weakness, it was sacred. In that silence, you learned the discipline of restraint. You learned how to walk with power without needing to prove it. You learned how to carry royalty without demanding recognition. You learned how to suffer quietly, so that when the time of revealing came, your spirit would not be arrogant, it would be anchored. You know what silence also taught you? It taught you how to rely on God when no one else believed in you. Because sometimes, chosen one, God allows people to ignore your crown so that you learn to trust His voice above all others. If they had affirmed you too soon, you might have depended on their validation instead of His. That's why He hid you. That's why He let you be misunderstood. That's why you were forced to carry the crown alone. And let's be honest, you carried things you never told anyone about. The secret tears, the quiet breakdowns, the hidden fears that you buried deep while still showing up strong for everyone else. You clapped for others while no one clapped for you. You encouraged others while privately wondering if you would ever experience breakthrough yourself. And yet, You never let go of the crown. That right there is evidence that you were chosen. Because even when you wanted to quit, something inside you wouldn't let you. Even when you thought about throwing the crown away, heaven whispered, Omako. Keep walking. You're not done yet. Do you understand how powerful that is? The fact that you carried royalty in silence without losing your identity? The fact that you bore the weight of destiny without public support? That's what separates you from the rest. That's why God can trust you with visibility now, because you didn't need applause to remain faithful. Think of it this way. If a crown had been placed on your head in front of everyone too early, they would have either tried to steal it, control it, or crush it. That's why God made you carry it invisibly until you matured enough to protect it. So never despise those silent seasons. They were not wasted time. They were divine training grounds. Every lonely night, every misunderstood conversation, every rejection, every moment you questioned your worth, it all became the soil for your strength, wisdom, and resilience. Chosen one, the silence was building something in you that loudness never could. And because you carried the crown in silence with integrity, heaven has already decided it's time for the silence to break. The very crown that was hidden will soon shine. The very authority you carried quietly will soon be undeniable. And the very people who once ignored you will be forced to honor the glory that's been resting on you the whole time. Your silence was not the end of your story. It was the preparation for your unveiling. Chapter 3. Why they couldn't see it before. Chosen one, listen closely. The crown has always been on you. From the very moment you were born, heaven marked you. You were stamped with destiny, clothed in favor, and wrapped in divine calling. But the question you've asked yourself so many times is, if the crown was always there, why couldn't they see it? Why didn't the people around me notice? Why did they treat me like I was ordinary? The truth is, it wasn't because the crown was missing. It wasn't because you weren't chosen. It wasn't because you weren't good enough. The crown was real, but God deliberately kept it concealed. You were hidden for a reason, protected in plain sight, guarded by heaven's hand until the appointed time. If people had seen your crown too early, they would have tried to misuse you. They would have latched onto your light without respect for your calling. Some would have drained you of your strength before you were mature enough to carry the weight. Others would have mocked you, belittled you, and planted seeds of doubt in your spirit, hoping to convince you that you were unworthy of what God had already placed on your life. And some, let's be real, would have outright tried to destroy you. Your crown is a threat to those bound in jealousy and insecurity. If they had recognized it before the right time, they would have attacked you before you were spiritually ready to stand tall in your authority. Think of David. Before he became king, he was anointed by the prophet Samuel. But then he went straight back to the fields. He still looked like a shepherd boy, smelled like sheep, and lived in obscurity. Nobody saw the crown, but heaven knew it was there. That's how it was with you. You've been carrying something royal all along, but God hid it from human eyes until you were strong enough to protect it. Or think of Joseph. He dreamed of greatness and dared to share it with his brothers, but when they heard, they despised him. They couldn't see his crown because the time hadn't come for it to shine. If they had recognized him too early, the process of preparation would have been cut short. But God knew Joseph had to go through the pit, through Potiphar's house, through prison before he could stand in the palace. His crown was concealed until the right moment. Chosen one, the same is true for you. That season where nobody understood you, where people overlooked you, where you felt invisible, it wasn't rejection, it was divine protection. God was saying, not yet. My child isn't ready, the world isn't ready, the stage isn't ready. Let me hide them for now, so when the moment comes, the unveiling will be undeniable. You weren't overlooked, you were preserved. You weren't forgotten, you were safeguarded. You weren't rejected, you were set apart. People couldn't see your crown because heaven had covered it, and heaven does nothing by mistake. And here's the powerful part. Not everyone is supposed to see it. Some people could spend years around you and never recognize the royalty you carry. That blindness isn't failure, it's strategy. God intentionally allowed certain people to be blind to your value because their access to you would have destroyed what He was building in you. Now your hidden season is shifting, the veil is being lifted. The same crown that was once invisible will soon be undeniable. And when God decides it's time, there won't be a soul who can deny it. Even your doubters, even those who rejected you, even those who mocked you, they will be forced to acknowledge that heaven's hand was on you the whole time. So stop grieving over who couldn't see you. Stop questioning why they didn't recognize your worth. Their blindness was part of the plan. God kept their eyes closed because your crown was never meant for their validation. It was meant for His timing. Chosen one, understand this. You were hidden because you are holy, concealed because you are chosen, covered because you are called. And now the crown that has always been yours is about to be revealed, not just for your sake, but so the glory of God can be seen through you. Chapter 4. The season of revelation has come, chosen one. Your season of silence has reached its completion. The hidden years are over. The wilderness where you were trained in secrecy has served its purpose. You endured being overlooked, underestimated, even mocked. But heaven was writing a different script for you. What looked like delay to others was actually strategy. What looked like rejection was actually divine protection. And now you stand at the threshold of a new chapter. The chapter where your crown, once invisible to man, is revealed for all to see. For years, people questioned you. They couldn't reconcile your quiet strength with your outward circumstances. They couldn't understand how someone who looked ordinary carried such extraordinary depth. Some dismissed you, others doubted you, and a few even disrespected you. Yet through it all, the crown never left your head. It remained upon your spirit, shining in heaven's sight even while hidden from earthly eyes. You walked with it quietly, faithfully, without demanding recognition, because deep down you knew. If God placed it on you, no one could take it away. The truth is, chosen one, God hid you because He had to. If the crown had been visible too soon, you would have attracted enemies you weren't yet ready to fight. You would have been exposed to weight you weren't yet prepared to carry. The wrong people would have tried to exploit your anointing, drain your energy, and use your gift for their own gain. So heaven in its wisdom shielded you, not because you weren't worthy, but because you were too valuable to be wasted. But now hear this in your spirit: the hiding is over. The cocoon is breaking, the veil is lifting. What was concealed is about to be revealed. This is your season of unveiling, where the crown that has always rested on you will suddenly become undeniable. The same people who once shrugged you off as ordinary will now be forced to see the extraordinary grace resting on your life. The same ones who said nothing good can come out of them will watch as God elevates you in plain sight. Do not be surprised when doors swing open that were once locked. Do not be shocked when your name is mentioned in rooms you never stepped into. Do not marvel when those who overlooked you yesterday begin to honor you today. This is what happens when heaven reveals what it once hid. This is what happens when the timing of God collides with the destiny of man. Think of Joseph, forgotten in prison only to be remembered in a single day and elevated to the palace. Think of David, ignored by his own father, left tending sheep, yet called forth and anointed king in front of his brothers. Think of Esther, an orphan girl hidden in the shadows who suddenly became queen for such a time as this. Their crowns were always there, but the revelation came in a moment of divine timing. And chosen one, now it is your moment. This revelation is not about applause. It is not about ego. It is not even about proving your critics wrong. It is about divine manifestation. The crown you wear is not ornamental, it is functional. It is a symbol of assignment, authority, and destiny. When people see it, they won't just be seeing you, they will be witnessing the fingerprint of God. Your unveiling will preach louder than any sermon. Your breakthrough will testify louder than any words. Your elevation will silence every doubt, not because you forced it, but because heaven released it. Chosen one, hear me clearly. You have been tested in silence so you could be trusted in visibility. You have been humbled in the shadows so you could be exalted in the light. This is not a season to shrink back, second guess, or apologize for the crown you carry. This is the season to stand tall, to walk with confidence, to step fully into what heaven ordained for you. Not confidence in yourself, but confidence in the one who crowned you before you even entered this world. So let your light shine. Let your crown be seen. Walk boldly, not in arrogance, but in humility, knowing that everything you are stepping into has been prepared long before you even knew it existed. This is your season of revelation. The crown has always been there, but now, finally, the world will see it. And nothing, no scheme of man, no whisper of the enemy, no delay in time can undo what heaven has already unveiled. Chosen one, your season of hiding is over. Your crown is shining. Step into it without fear, because this is the time you were prepared for. Chapter 5. Walking boldly in your royalty. Chosen one, now that your crown has been revealed, this is not the time to shrink. This is not the time to question whether you are worthy or to second-guess the calling that rests upon your life. For too long you have walked as if you were ordinary, trying to blend in when you were born to stand out. That season is over. The crown has been revealed, and with it comes a higher responsibility. To walk boldly, confidently, and unapologetically in your divine royalty. Understand this. Walking boldly in your crown does not mean arrogance. It does not mean lording yourself over others or demanding recognition. True royalty does not have to shout its status. A king or queen does not beg to be acknowledged. Their very presence commands it. In the same way, your crown will speak for you. The authority God placed on your life will announce itself without you saying a word. But what is required of you is posture. You must carry yourself like the chosen one you are. There will be moments where the enemy whispers lies, trying to convince you that you are not enough, that you don't deserve the elevation, that you aren't qualified to carry this crown. But hear me, your qualification did not come from man. It did not come from a degree, a title, or a platform. It came from God Himself. And when God crowns someone, He equips them for the weight of that crown. Your scars became your preparation. Your trials became your training. Every tear you cried in silence built the strength you now need to stand boldly in the light. Walking boldly means no longer apologizing for your anointing, no longer watering yourself down to make others comfortable, no longer shrinking your dreams, your voice, or your presence so that you don't intimidate people. The truth is, chosen one, your light will always make those in darkness uncomfortable. Your crown will always expose the insecurity of those who refuse theirs. But you cannot hide for their comfort any longer. You were not crowned to fit in. You were crowned to lead, to rise, to blaze a path for others who are watching you in silence, waiting for permission to step into their own destiny. This crown is not for pride. It is for purpose. It's not about showing off. It's about showing up. Walking boldly means accepting the assignment tied to your crown. Some crowns are for kings and queens who sit idly in castles, but your crown is for battle, for service, for leadership. It is a crown of responsibility. When you walk boldly, you don't just lift yourself, you lift nations, families, generations. There are people attached to your yes. Your boldness will unlock their courage. Your faith will spark their awakening. Your authority will ignite their own. Chosen one, think of Esther. She didn't wear her crown to host banquets and flaunt her position. She wore it to risk everything, to save her people, to fulfill her divine purpose. Think of David. His crown wasn't just for ruling, but for leading his nation into victory, for writing psalms that would echo for eternity. Your crown is the same. It is not ornamental, it is missional. It is not just a symbol, it is an assignment. So now walk boldly, speak with confidence because heaven backs your words. Move with faith because the steps of the righteous are ordered by God. Live with awareness because everywhere you go, you carry heaven's authority upon your head. This is not the season to blend in. It is the season to stand tall, to walk into rooms like you belong there, to make decisions like you know who sent you, and to live like the favor of God is visible on your life, because it is. You are crowned, chosen one. You are royal, not because of who you are, but because of who God is in you. This is the time to let that royalty shine through every action, every word, every decision. Walk boldly because the crown you carry is not a suggestion. It is a declaration. Heaven has already spoken. You are chosen, you are set apart, and you are royal. And now the world will see you walk in it. Chapter 6. The Reactions of Others. Chosen one, when the crown on your life finally becomes visible, understand this. It will expose hearts around you. Not everyone will react the same. Some will rejoice with you, others will pretend to celebrate while hiding their envy, and some will outright reject what they now see on you. You have to remember your crown was never invisible. It was simply spiritual. It was resting on you long before others had the eyes to perceive it. And now that it's being revealed in the natural, people will respond according to the condition of their own hearts. Some will suddenly admire you. They'll look at you differently, speak to you differently, and treat you with a respect they never showed before. But let's be real. Respect that only shows up after revelation is not true respect. Where were they when you were carrying the crown in silence? Where were they when you were walking through the valley misunderstood and underestimated? These people celebrate the shine, but they had no honor for the hidden struggle. Others will be envious because your crown reminds them of what they neglected in themselves. It becomes a mirror. When they see you rise, when they see the favor of God on your life, it forces them to face their own disobedience, their own compromises, their own refusal to carry the mantle God once offered them. Instead of letting your testimony inspire them, they let it threaten them. Instead of learning from your discipline, they despise your discipline. Your crown exposes their excuses, and then there are those who will attempt to attach themselves to your breakthrough. The very people who overlooked you when you had nothing will now seek to be connected to you. They'll say, "We knew you were special," even though they didn't. They'll want to benefit from the doors opening in your life, from the opportunities flowing your way, from the blessings chasing you down. But chosen one, you must discern carefully. Not everyone who runs toward the crown belongs near it. Some are not coming to honor it. They're coming to drain it. Do not be shocked by betrayal in this season. Remember, even Jesus wore a crown, yet those closest to him still turned their backs. Judas sat at the table smiling, dipping bread in the same bowl, all while planning his betrayal. That's the reality of carrying something divine. The crown attracts both loyalty and deception. It reveals who is truly for you and who is only for what they can gain from you. But here's the key. You must remain unshaken. Their reactions, whether admiration, envy, or betrayal, cannot move you. Why? Because their opinions did not place the crown on your head, and their opinions cannot remove it. The Most High crowned you, not man. And when heaven seals something, no earthly reaction can overturn it. Yes, some will whisper, "Why them? Why not me?" They'll question why God chose you, forgetting that God's choices are never up for debate. His wisdom is beyond human comprehension. You weren't chosen because you were the loudest, the most popular, or the most celebrated. You were chosen because you endured the crushing, the pressing, the silence, and the hidden preparation. You carried what others dropped. You held on to what others threw away. That's why the crown fits you. It was tailored by your obedience. Others will try to test you to see if the crown is real. They'll provoke you, gossip about you, or even attack your character. But don't waste your energy fighting battles God has already won for you. The crown itself will testify. Your fruit will silence their lies. Your consistency will expose their false accusations. You don't have to prove yourself. The light on your life will do it for you. Chosen one, understand this deeply. Reactions are temporary, but your crown is eternal. People can change their minds 100 times, but God will never change His word concerning you. Today they may mock, tomorrow they may admire, the next day they may envy, but through it all the crown remains. It does not shift. It does not tarnish. It does not fall off because someone else cannot handle your shine. So walk boldly without apology. Do not dim your light to make others comfortable. Do not lower your crown to ease their insecurities. Let them wrestle with their reactions because their wrestling is not your responsibility. Your responsibility is to stay aligned, stay faithful, and stay focused. The same crown that unsettles them is the same crown that confirms your divine assignment. And when it's all said and done, their reactions will fade, but your crown, your calling, your authority, your divine favor will remain untouched, unshaken, and undeniable. Chapter 7. The crown was for destiny, not display. Chosen one, lean in closely. This is where everything comes together. The crown you've carried was never meant to be a shiny ornament for the world's applause. It was never a decoration for people to admire, or a symbol for you to parade around in pride. The crown was never about display, it was always about destiny. This crown represents something eternal. It's a mantle, a divine appointment, a sacred responsibility placed on you before you even knew who you were. You see, when heaven crowned you, it wasn't just marking you, it was commissioning you. The crown was not a reward for surviving, it was a sign that you were chosen to fulfill a mission that others could not. That's why the crown felt so heavy when nobody could see it. You thought it was just your struggles, your pain, your loneliness, but what you were carrying was far greater than your personal battles. That weight you felt was not random. It was the intercession of your ancestors, the hopes of those tied to your obedience, the breakthrough of those connected to your assignment. The crown carried the weight of nations, the prayers of generations, the healing of souls you haven't even met yet. And that is why you couldn't treat it casually. That's why you couldn't throw it off when life felt unfair. The Most High didn't place it on your spirit for vanity. He placed it on you for victory. Victory not just for yourself, but for others who will be freed, healed, restored, and awakened because you chose to carry your crown when it was invisible. And now you are ready to carry it when it becomes undeniable. Chosen one, understand this. The revelation of your crown is not the end of your journey. It is the beginning of your assignment. The unveiling is not so the world can simply admire you, it's so the world can receive what God planted in you. The crown is a calling card, a sign to the earth that a solution has arrived, that a leader has risen, that a voice has awakened. Some will cheer, others will envy, and some will question why it had to be you. But here's the truth. Their reactions do not determine your reality. Their doubt cannot erase your destiny. Their opinions cannot remove what heaven has sealed. The crown on your life was not voted on. It was spoken into existence by the one who rules all existence. This is why you must carry it with balance. Walk with humility because pride will make you forget who gave it to you. But also walk with authority because false humility will make you hide what God has revealed. The crown demands courage because your assignment requires you to stand when others shrink, to speak when others stay silent, to move when others hesitate. Chosen one. The crown you carried in silence has now been revealed in the open, and once revealed, there is no going back. You will never be unseen again. The world will never look at you the same, and neither will you. What was hidden is now undeniable. What was mocked is now magnified. What was doubted is now divine proof of your calling. The crown was never for display, it was always for destiny. And now that the veil has been lifted, your destiny is unfolding right before your eyes. Step into it, own it, walk in it with faith. For this is the very hour, the very moment, and the very season heaven prepared you for. You are not crowned for comfort, you are crowned for conquest. You are not crowned for fame, you are crowned for freedom. You are not crowned for recognition, you are crowned for responsibility. Chosen one, lift your head. The silence is over, the revelation has come, and nothing, absolutely nothing, will ever be the same again.